Hey, love, welcome back to another episode of Lessons from Behind My Chair. I'm your host, Angela B. Fuller, master hairstylist turned certified life coach. Today we have a juicy topic for you. You know, it's a topic that I am excited about. So let's dive in. But before we dive in, I do have a pop question for you. And my question is, what is your game plan for building your mindset? I want you to think about that for a second because going into the new year, fresh start of 2023, we cannot go into 2023 with the same mindset that we have in this present year. Even if it's one that's moving our life forward, we always, I think, ought to focus on getting better, increasing our awareness of how we can be better, and just increasing our awareness of how we show up in the world. So give that some thought. What's your game plan for improving your mindset? Okay, so let's go ahead and get started. I always like to think about the fact that, we hear it all the time, that we will have what we say. And so in order to know what you want, I think it would be helpful for us to make it a point to increase our awareness of what we want. And so my thing is this. One of the ways I think that we can do this is by putting pen to paper to build our awareness of what we want. Because so many times, so much runs through our mind of what we deem as important. And before we know it, we've everything is kind of just scattered out there. I know when I think about my past 30 years, which is really half of my life when I think about it, of working as a hairstylist, I struggled as a hairstylist in the beginning because being new to the industry, a lot of what I was doing required repetition and required practice, starting a little small and then building to the finish line. But I found myself being a little impatient with myself about building and giving myself time to create these magnificent hairstyles. But what I've learned is, and that brings me to the topic of our conversation today, roller set to mindset. What I learned back in the day, the same concept that I'm presently using to build my mindset, I had to use that same concept in building my career and my skills as a hairstylist. Because what I learned in beauty school and what I learned in some of the classes that I took along the way to improve my skill is that the key to any hairstyle that had substance was the basic roller set. Can you believe that? The key to building any style that could hold its foundation, hold its style, and last for days on end was learning how to do a proper roll set. As a matter of fact, the key to getting, even today, the key to achieving your license when you go to state board and do your practical, you have to do a proper roller set. And so why is that? Because it's the roller set. Learning the basic of a roller set is what determines the outcome of the style, of the final style that you want. And to take it even further, with a roller set, you just can't put the roller in the hair any kind of way and go on about your business and expect it to work. No. Depending on the outcome, there is a thing called where you roll that hair on base to achieve a certain outcome. Then there's also rolling below the base or off base as we're instructed. And then the third way is rolling actually above the base, which means you want to overextend that hair to create a totally different look. And if I didn't learn that, every style that I tried to create would have create a whole new different outcome. I would have been totally off the rail. If I wanted a really sleek style that's really smooth and very straight, and I rolled that hair, I extended that hair beyond the baseline, honey, I would have been going against the grain, fighting myself to get that hair to lay down smooth and silky and more of a refined look, as opposed to a look that was full of body and full of fullness. And in giving it some thought the other day, I realized that this is the same concept that we can use to build our mindset. Because first we have to establish that we are operating with a limited mindset. Because we're not getting what we want in our lives. It's not materializing. So something is wrong. So first we have to establish what it is we want, and also what is keeping us from achieving it, because everything begins in the mind. We know that what we think about comes about. What we focus on, we get. So in building your mindset, I came to realize that first we have to establish that we have a limited mindset. And we also have to establish what is it that we want and what is keeping us from achieving what we want. And so once we establish that, then we want to figure out, how can I go about building my mindset? How can I work with my mindset to bring me to things that I want in my life? One of the ways I have found that works for me is through using affirmations to trigger my subconscious mind. Because if I can imprint upon my subconscious mind the truth based on what I want, not on what I don't want, then a change begin to happen. We've got to learn, because the subconscious mind doesn't know the difference between what's real and what isn't. It will absorb and it will go to work to produce what you say. So if you want to see a particular thing established in your life, then you've got to tell your subconscious mind pretty much that you already have it. And that subconscious mind will follow suit, go to work to make it happen. I know there were so many times along the way that I spoke negativity, because part of the reason is because I just didn't know. But, of course, when you know better, we have to do better. And in doing that and telling my subconscious mind what I want, and it's really about affirming to yourself what you want. I mean, there's something as simple as the other day I was saying I need to go and get my appointment book so I could start scheduling my clients, booking their appointments into the new year for January and February, because I kind of book ahead, allow my clients that privilege. And I didn't even bother about going and ordering it online. I went to a couple of stores. They didn't have it in stock. So I got busy. So I kept telling myself, one way or another, I will have my appointment book before Christmas. I kept repeating that to myself. And then when I had the opportunity to run out and get my appointment book, guess what happened? I got busy and I got sidetracked. But in that, I kept telling myself, before Christmas, I'm going to have my appointment book. And just a couple of days ago, I came home, and lo and behold, my husband walked up to me and he said, honey, they were giving out these appointment books at the job, at my job. So, hey, if this is something you can use, here you go. Just like that. Something as simple as that. I kept affirming that I'm going to have my appointment book before Christmas and not really figuring it out how it's going to happen. And here it is, just a couple of days ago, my husband walked up to me and presented it to me. Guys, I'm telling you, it is just that simple. Sometimes we go to work to make it hard, to make it complicated. By creating a shift in our subconscious mind, which affects our mindset, can be as simple as repeating affirmations, believing that it will happen. It's not our job to figure out in details the how, but it is our job to affirm that it will, and everything else falls in place. And so, as I said earlier, what you focus on, it grows. So I'm saying amp up, let's begin to amp up our awareness and become friends, become buddies with the tangible things and the intangible things that we want to see in our life. And when we do that, it will surprise you how it magnifies itself. And I find that when I do that, it allows me to expand and to be even more open-minded to receive. Because a lot of times, we want a thing, but a lot of us feel like we don't deserve it. We don't always feel like we deserve to have a thing. So also put focus on the fact that you deserve to have what you say. And if you know you're going to get what you say, then just be sure to speak positivity into what you say you want. So between now and January of 2023, begin to remind yourself that you have the power to change your mindset. You have the power within you to grow your mindset. And a simple way to do it is to imprint upon your subconscious mind what it is that you want. And say it with feelings, and say it even if you don't quite believe it yet. Still put some feelings behind it. Put some skin in the game when you are imprinting upon your subconscious mind what you want in the coming year. And I can almost guarantee that you are going to have what you say. I hope what I've said has caused you to think of not only yourself, but someone else who you believe can benefit from the message of roller set to mindset. And if you can think of someone, even if it's one person, that would benefit from this conversation, please share it out. And I look forward to talking with you again on Wednesday at 7 a.m. for a fresh squeezed dose, something to help get you through the week. Okay? Talk with you soon. Bye. Mwah.